And now once I set an example to you, say, me compare this Paris Saint-Germain team way to the previous Paris Saint-Germain teams. When we are more matured, you see, you can have matured players, but an immature team. The time make us 7 years say a team needs to play together for a certain period of time. A team needs to understand system and how they want to play over a course of time to be a mature team. Inti obetimia peja Pep Guardiola's Barcelona between 2009 to 2011. You speak about how matured that team was.
Yes.
Obetimia kasa about Jose Mourinho's Chelsea at a point in time at how matured this team was. Inti the moment you speak about Paris Saint-Germain being a mature team as compared to the previous years, it's not about the matured players are not more Paris Saint-Germain team. Zlatan, Cavani, I'm talking about a team that grow through losses, or grow through pain. And as you see, our system no more bono, or be accustomed to, or my say robot no. Utu A, Utu B, Grana, the Fufu, same thing. That is what we were speaking about. You look at the performances of Paris Saint-Germain and Rana, you would understand whatever I was talking about the previous day. And I was saying, even without attacking three, no be difficult to the Barcelona.
Frankly speaking, me, no more discuss na make.
No, crowd stress on attacking three, so omuni
hono die. Money one na me hu say be difficult all the boys na be bombs na me hu kwan be see a match Barca.
But I knew that this game was going to be a game of two equals.
Okay.
Because of how mature they are. Players are passing through every phase of pain when it comes to the Champions League. And last season, no more passing through every single level, including the Club World Cup as a reality check. And before coming to meet Barcelona team way. So it was a game and a close. Just maybe the tiny details and a bit determined. And tiny details and I was specific on Vitinha and the Pedri. And right on course, and no mummy and Regimu, then Nuno Mendes and Lami Yama. And I'm a Casafa Vitinha Pedri, Lami Yama, and Nuno Mendes. And a Hona soon a game free buy. Fancy. Compare Tamana Pedri bo game no time yi Pedri in the free game in him. Now show the absolute control of Vitinha as the game evolved. I think for the first time, Hansi Flick he changes be and now game in one dream. Pedri changing maybe planning your marketing kitty mean to over resting fine. But I never understood the Marcus Rashford change. To keep Ferran Torres. Game him ahead of Marcus Rashford. Also, there are certain games M.Akomeah players be. There are certain games be players be games.
Okay.
Marcus Rashford against Paris Saint-Germain. In the last few games of Mabon, why shot 3 goals, I had 3 assists. And Paris Saint-Germain. And Enna was not just about the numbers in terms of assists. Enna was about involved in the game. And Rashford was literally growing into the game as time went on in the game. Now or treated. Putting in dangerous crosses, doing a lot of things. I felt to say, who you Pedro film now the Mac Benale ba, now the Mac Casado so ba, now the Baude ba. I actually believe say, Wontumi ain't taking up possession beyond reasonable doubt against a quality to say Vitinha, Fabian Ruiz, and it's Henry in the middle of the park. So you resort to transitional game. A Barcelona obesity a little bit deep. Try and hit on counter attack. So we counter attack now, and also no be here Marcus Rashford.
Yeah.
And also be here Marcus Rashford. So the front Torres now that I was asking, the Barcelona Pedro na say omo ye dey because I felt say oyi omo nyina free na Casado ne Bernal na e double pivot na Ujai possession in the Paris Saint-Germain. You can hit them through transitions. Sana Chelsea do at some point in time.
With
Marcus Rashford, no.
Me to see not just say we Rashford na near limite Lami Yamala and I say oh my jere. That is what happened yesterday. So say yere hakrana Rashford. On said the first half no. I'm a Rashford. How many times now was Hakimi back penalty box in him? Obakra no slow. This was how rush back konechi. But right after everything, now Bakola
Aba game so well. Only Akraf Hakimi. Omo bossa Bakula na Akraf Hakimi bossa. Ho na fe omo bohu to klo. E ho na go no so free by. Bakabade and Rashford on the same line. I think a Paris Saint-Germain would have been a little bit careful. But when Chile Paul the Champions League, that's not the reason why we say Paris Saint-Germain will win the Champions League again. And that's not the reason why we say Barcelona cannot win the Champions League.
Goes up to Crassi Arsenal.
What did I say? Up to say why?
Arsenal.
Not to me.
I don't know say. I don't know say.
After so while the Champions League.
Now the main stories no one here now.
There be some person says Susu.
What can I say? Club work out the bear say up to say. See ana moye. The Korea's na Chelsea na kwaji ampa.
Okay, ate.
Up to us answer of ene. Arsenal and a favorite.
Okay. It is what I've been to ourselves. When I said now what kind of great just Arsenal. As who's a year Arsenal. It's fancy. I think Barcelona will grow from this. Hansi Flick will look towards the mistake, and I think say Ovishing season no as a long season. Yeah. This is one particular loss at the beginning of Champions League. And the one remember there, you'll be frustrated. Say a game like against PSG, the magnitude of that particular game, there wasn't a result. But Antimia must say the opener, but nothing. BBN I say. I saw Liverpool top the Champions League. Last season Champions League top 8 now no more na. Emu ba ko pen opportunity we mu the semi-final of the Champions League, which was Arsenal. Omo maka ni nyina ya omo mo ball the playoffs. And they could move to the round of 16. And they could ball the semi-finals and the finals of the Champions League. Barcelona susu be remo hokakra. So you look at the quality of this competition in a new format now. These games, emi say ya okeke na be di say unhia ni biem. Ya okeke ana obedi ba unhia ni biem, but this goes on to show how matured this Paris Saint-Germain team, and I'm happy say me who Paris Saint-Germain team say enyini do this particular level. You know, Nuno Mendes issue nene nkomo bebre sounding Nuno Mendes no as the best left back we are no fancy and na metena sia na mehwe no ma bidin na mera ho. It's totally unrelated, but I actually believe that you look at what has been given to Amorim as wing backs for Manchester United, and you look at the kind of wing backs that played under Amorim or Sporting, then you ask questions, because Giovanni Quenda
wing backs that have been given to Amorim onuna o make his request na say
no obeto Mazraoui obeto Ahmad obeto dogu ni the only sign na onu ni ba ya onu kra no ope obeka ya obeye story wa haya sema ope profile like Nuno Mendes a ko Nuno Mendes one Nuno Mendes ka pay contract extension with Paris Saint-Germain one higher story no wa haya and unfortunately wanya ana workers mo de ani bra ni pressure e ko January ko late by who go crook Kofa Patrick Dogu de ne dey
Kwenda mono na Chelsea for no so afa echi.
Let's not forget say no say Kwenda one higher story me no story ana me gidi o
Kwenda ne no ope
one higher story is no say Giovanni Kwenda
for no share na mo ball mafia no so mo koto kra wo mama boy na
mama boy na ma because boy ne buyer I'm telling you for a fact say anka Giovanni Kwenda na be Manchester United left wing back nanka Ahmad I Manchester United right wing back. It may the kind of wing backs are under him. Nuno on the promoting Nuno Mendes from the academy, the bar sporting meeting. Pedro Peru, Nuno Santos, Giovanni Quenda. Ya. Look at the quality these players offer. And you single out Nuno Mendes because I'm so happy for him because they say in the injury situation, any problems so off. He's becoming consistent. If you let him get grip of the game, the first few minutes in the not or a ditri kakra. Yama at to train kakra bi ko ball crossing mid to post man yama be issue but get a grip of the game shall say movie ball from the own half to Barcelona's half. First one Emma Frankie de Jong yellow card. Yes. The second one created the equalizer. And he grew into the game. And establishing himself as one of the best left backs we say. Do hear a consistency over the years. And I think going into the World Cup, no, say Portugal pese player be fit aside Ronaldo mo boy we. They need him to be on top form and fitness to have a chance at the World Cup. Fancy, your both players bidding, but I think he's becoming really influential in every single setup you use him. Very important aspect. Vitinha establishing himself. The entire we are seeing in our Kotuaba. You see, we are seeing one of the third best player we are seeing. Or G game ni say, or G game ni say, Mofa game ni mame. Then we were 2 abasa, we were 2-9, we were 2-way, not the Asha. But Pedro did not have a bad game. No. If anybody tells you Pedro in a bad game, I'm really surprised because Pedro now had a life wire for Barcelona even in the middle of the park. Pedro influencing game now in the film no. Owner fouls at crucial positions. All managing the minutes in Bibiano and you Pedro in the film. But Vitinha actually say we are seeing a Kotuaba say or no and the third best midfielder we are saying no. Yeah, the stamp person is to say Pipram. And yeah. Fancy what a win and 100% record for a team like Qarabağ in the Champions League.
Omono say one home ya omo tie Bobby omo tie boy Europe. Omo ha adwen pa.
What a result for like Qarabağ.
Utie din e be dada you might think omo ha adwen bi asa. No mo na mba chire sport him say that day one.
Omo chiro mu bibi kakra bi. Think that is the top results. Is it Rasmus Højlund and Kevin De Bruyne? Manchester boys are combining their Napoli winning by 2-1. Fancy, okay, Højlund first season in the Champions League. So okay. Anyway, see then I better. Højlund first season in the Champions League for United. Over Galatasaray mu games be.
Qarabağ so much Benfica.
Qarabağ Benfica. Omo ko share Benfica by 3-2 no. Yeah. Ana mo be share Copenhagen by 2-0. Rasmus Højlund e share Galatasaray against Bayern Munich. Obekai. That Champions League no cramp. Yes, I could play more Copenhagen. Cause how she go? It's a game no. In the Champions League, he was in the form of his life. Then boom, no whatever form. You see, environment is very important in player development. And no, not many Mike never born and I make a Mike say Marcus Rashford looks different. Environment. The same thing with Rasmus Højlund. Environment.
So
you see, Manchester United problem, no fancy. Maybe I'm a case but people are failing to understand. Ruben Amorim is a problem, but he's not the problem. Ruben Amorim is a problem, but he's not the problem. The whole problem of the club here said there's a toxic environment that has been created over the years, where failure has become something a team needs to easily, which was not a team standard in recent years. And Omama contributed to Sanyoma winning. Number one, the fans of the club. There's a toxic environment in this particular era. Manchester United supporters are more. You see, these players no be at no. They watch social media, they look at it. How you go for your interview? Or say maybe no also do the phone to baby.
Oh, nanyana honorable Adongo Eddie.
Honorable Adongo.
Or super new year. Or Sanko Bonabaso.
Or Sanko Bonabaso.
Because or Dana say. Or Bonabaso.
Or
train or you.
Or train or UK. Fancy. France no toxic. Old players. Steve Obusa have a question be what you want to say. Iti Man United old player be pa na Ferguson I see our coaches. They be omu nyina da TV so for nipa. Roy Keane e ba shibi. Ferdinand e ba shibi. Neville e ba shibi. Poskos. Omu ya na akofa Peter Schmeichel. Omu ya na akofa wi. Nye na besi wo. The whole thing about the club is disjointed, disorganized, expectations beyond reality. Nkuwa na woni patrim.
Højlund, enra me share ne go na a comment section as we say man you anko say no.
Enti o touch ball kra na fancy we a United player. You wouldn't have to take risk because who take risk ne kra na yem she say it we anya here. O meka ne say look at Asama Rekin Kafa look show. You see o bobo no kra na wakuma no kra no you don't feel. And these are things that will need to change and I think they've started it. Currently no a new one. In-house Nankasana, they are trying to restructure a lot of things to bring a certain culture here. You didn't listen to the outside world a lot. and create something about the team. And yes, I know. Say this is a Ferguson. I didn't come back. Kakra na enye wako piya nyoma.
Mate. Wo, mamemra